Good evening. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. If you would join us for the flag salute, please. All right, let the memo show that all board members are present. Adoption of the agenda. We have a note, a business agenda A5 is being withdrawn from the agenda tonight.
Second.
Dr. McNeil,
Yes.
Ms. Romerman,
Yes.
Ms. McAdams,
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen.
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Consent agenda. All of the following items, those items of a routine nature normally approved at board meetings, will be approved by one vote unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. The consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and action of the following items, A through FF.
Second.
Dr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen,
Yes.
Ms. Romerman,
Yes.
Ms. McAdams.
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. All right, information reports, USPA, UCTA. Ms. Gunter.
President Reyes, Dr. Federline, and members of the board, OEA hosted a week or two ago a civication at home where UCTA members were encouraged to participate in dinner with legislators to promote strong communication and advocacy, and several of our UCTA members attended that dinner. We had some really good discussions. And we also wanted to thank payroll department for their assistance in ensuring our membership dues are properly managed. We were able recently to get all of that organized for the year. We're good to go. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a Core America data report. Dr. Robinson.
President Reyes, Dr. Federline, members of the board, I'm here today to present to you the preliminary findings of Core America. Core America is a custodial and janitorial assessment company. They are a third-party auditor that inspects buildings and then reports out both their findings on the quality of the current state and gives recommendations on staffing and structure in order to improve your custodial practices. We hired Core America last summer, and we asked them to come assess our buildings once school had started, so they get a real sense of what our practices are at Union Public Schools. Core America has a very fine reputation for doing this type of work. They've inspected over 80,000 buildings nationwide. They've inspected over 3 billion square feet nationwide. And they inspect college campuses, K through 12 institutions, as well as hospitals and also private businesses as well. The inspectors from Core America audited all of the cleanable spaces at Union Public Schools over the course of about 2 weeks in August after school started. So Core America uses the APA standards. Basically, they go into the buildings, they look at all of our spaces, our fixtures, and they assign them their own quality index. The quality index is pretty simple. It's based on 100, so the closer you are to 100%, the better your cleaning practices are. And then they're also based on something called the APA guidelines. APA is a national organization that sets standards for cleaning and maintenance practices at schools. So Union Public Schools graded out very high with Core America's quality index. So our overall score at Union Public Schools, this is district-wide, averaging all of our buildings, was a 91.5. That rates us in the excellent range for the most part. They also assessed the individual buildings. They assessed individual room types, even down to the different items and fixtures inside of rooms. So they got really granular on what they were assessing as well. But let me repeat that. 91.5, that's an excellent score. They couldn't quit gushing about how impressed they were overall with Union Public Schools' current custodial state. So again, they inspected 23 different buildings, almost 5,000 individual item types, 352 different rooms, and they took over 500 pictures of the district. Again, not only were they inspecting buildings as a whole, but also the different types of spaces that we have. So everything from locker areas to classrooms to restrooms. Now, while our overall assessment was very high, we did still have some areas that needed improvement, specifically in terms of room types. Our gymnasiums, our boys' restrooms, as you can imagine, and our break rooms were the lowest scored. But even when you look at our overall scores, our lowest scores were still in the 80s when it came to room type. So again, needs improvement, but still very strong, relatively speaking. The deficiency attribute summary. So this is the broad types of deficiencies that they found, is what they categorize as soil, dust, and buildup. Soil and dust are really just momentary lapses that didn't get hit in the recent past. So, rust stains or drips on toilets, dust, things like that. Buildup, which was about 20% of our deficiencies, usually means soil and dusting hasn't happened in a prolonged amount of time. But again, of our deficiency attribute summary, 60% of the things that they found in total in terms of deficiencies were easily correctable, things like quick soiling and quick dusting of things that can remedy those. And again, when you're talking about the individual items within those broader spaces, our deficiencies were typically the edges of restroom fixtures. So in the picture there, you can see the top of a urinal didn't get hit, stains on carpets, and then like the kick plates of doors was something that they found pretty often. Now, all that to say, we got a preliminary report on this sometime in September. Early part of September was our first glimpse of some of their results. And I wanted to give a shout out to Cindy Alexander. The second we saw this at the buildings that this was reported at, we were addressing those items that very night. So rest assured that we are using this already as a way to improve our practices. So thank you, Cindy. In addition to assessing us individually, they also cross us with our peers to see how we perform, not only based on the APA standards, but also based on similar districts, so K through 12 districts of similar square footage and similar enrollment. Some of those districts you can see on the screen there. So these are districts in California, districts in Colorado, districts in Ohio, districts on the East Coast. So again, nationwide cross-section of similar districts, and we performed at the second highest of the peer group that they selected for us. So again, relatively speaking, and in a broad sense, we are doing very well. It's very impressive. Now that said, what do we do with this information? Really, it's communicating our findings. So what we're doing tonight is one of the first steps, being transparent with what the audit has found. But then utilizing this with our crews. So taking these, again, they said they took over 500 photos. We can take that photo guideline, and again, they have it organized by site, by room type, so we can say, hey, this crew, this type of room at this particular school, here's the photos that they took that day. Let's make sure we're correcting these easily correctable items. And then, so taking those photos and taking that data and showing the crews, showing where we're missing, and being intentional about correcting those deficiencies. And then last but not least, this was really their quality audit, their quality findings, the state of where we are right now. They haven't completed their staffing assessment, but they've given us some preliminary information. And really what the preliminary information shows us is what we kind of already knew. When we look at our quality findings, we find that the elementary sites are the highest scorers on the quality index. So some of our elementary sites are in the 97s, the 98s, which is really carrying our average into that 90 range. Our secondary sites weren't as high. Our secondary sites are in the mid to upper 80s. And when we look at our staffing levels, we see that. And what they're saying is that our elementaries are very well staffed, while our secondary sites are less so. And it's not just numbers of custodians, it's the fact that our secondary sites are very large, comprehensive sites with lots of square footage. The high school staff in and of itself is almost 900,000 square feet. And we just don't quite have enough people to cover that to get the same quality that we're getting at the elementary sites. In addition to that, our secondary sites have the largest number of events that need to be covered. And when we have events that need to be covered, soccer games, football games, basketball games, dances, things of that nature, when cleanups need to happen after those events or during those events, those custodians are pulled off their routine runs to go take care of that. So that's time off task of their normal routine that pulls them away from getting their routine cleaning done. So in the broad sense, elementaries are doing fantastic. Our secondary sites, we probably need to look at how we staff our secondary sites a little bit better. And with that, I'll open it up for questions.
I will ask this. I know it was asked in the meeting before, but when you're looking at the elementary and then the secondary sites, is there an average square footage per, I would say, an employee?
The industry standard and the APA standards will tell you to get high-level cleaning, you want one custodian per 30,000 square feet, give or take. So that means our elementary sites, which are about 70,000 square feet, but we have 3 people staffed there. So if we have an absence, we can cover it without pulling away from other sites. Again, the math bears that out. Our elementary sites do very, very well, while our secondary sites do less well. One other thing I wanted to say before if anyone has any other questions, is I really want to take the time to commend our custodial staff. In the audience tonight, Cindy Alexander. Cindy Alexander has been our custodial coordinator for 25 years at Union Public Schools, and her leadership through that time, how she leads her lead custodians and how she leads our custodians is she just does a great job, and I just want to make sure that Cindy gets a shout out here for her work. And not only that, but our custodians they work at night. They don't get as much interaction with our staff as some of the other people, our teachers and our other faculty members. So I really do want to make sure that thankless job gets a public thank you. Our custodians work so hard to keep our spaces in good shape. It's not to say we don't have work to do. We do have work to do. There is improvement to be had, but I really want to give a shout out to our custodial staff as well. Other questions? Excuse me, I interrupted myself.
You good? Questions, comments?
Thank you for putting this together.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. Thank you. All right, next we have hearings and correspondence. No? Okay. We have a public hearing for the purpose of the public comment and the discussion of financial matters, including past and future expenditures of the district in accordance with Senate Bill 1094 of the 1994 legislation session. Okay, business agenda. Consider and take action on the 2025 to 2026 professional development budget and plan. Mrs. Gray.
Hello. Good evening, President Reyes, Dr. Federline, members of the board. I'm asking for your approval this evening for our annual review of our district professional development plan, specifically for the 2025-26 school year. So while not all professional development will cost funding or money, most of it does. And so we have that last document that you have in front of you. We have obligated $560,000 that we receive funding both from the state, federal, and then other funding sources such as outside grants. This meets the needs of our students. It builds capacity of our leaders in our buildings, as well as leaders and teacher leaders within our classrooms and buildings. We really evaluate our needs consistently that align with our strategic plan. We also go through an evaluative process during the previous school year. We send out what's called a comprehensive needs assessment. We sent it this June to all stakeholders. That includes parent groups, all employees at site levels, so both support staff and certified staff at the site level, and then our community partners to seek their feedback if professional development funds were available or funding sources through federal funds, what would they hope to see? And so we gather this data. All of our directors, our respective directors, are kind of charged with seeking feedback from their groups. Included in the district professional development plan is our district PD committee, in which I help oversee and share that information with to gather feedback. And so we have a great plan. Thank you guys for your approval of the calendar this year. We started with 2 professional development days before school started, if you recall. We have 5 built-in days to the school year, so we have 3 district-led days. The first one started on August 29th. Then we have the next 2 upcoming ones will be February 13th and then April 2nd. During those district-led professional development days, half the day is spent on collaboration in respective groups, whether that be at the site level with, let's say, second grade teams or your biology team at the freshman academy, or it could be with respective groups across the district, such as our elementary librarians or media specialists. The other half of the day is where they get to select their professional development, or they get some autonomy in saying what they would like with their directors. The 2 site-based professional development days, the first one coming up is this Wednesday, October 15th, and then the last one will be January 16th. January 16th is a special day. You'll notice on our calendar that that's also our district celebration in the morning. So backed by popular demand, we got a lot of positive feedback that employees really appreciated gathering in the PAC, starting again last year, to really recognize each of our site teachers of the year and to celebrate and announce our district teacher of the year. And we plan to replicate that with a different theme this year. That morning and then in the afternoon, the sites will lead their professional development. I want to really recognize the site principals in this room, as well as any teacher leaders. One thing we are really, really proud of is our professional learning communities. We've really built up our professional development around that area for a guaranteed and viable curriculum, ensuring that all students have high levels of learning. And so those 23 days that you guys have granted us in the calendar are very intentional and focused days with the early release Fridays to do this work. And so we're really appreciative of that. And then you can see on the next to last page our other priorities that we focus on with professional development. All of our content areas are priority. We anticipate a social studies adoption this spring, so we will also supply professional development in alignment with our Oklahoma academic standards, as well as our newly adopted resource. Principal and assistant principal leadership development has been a large focus as well. Continued in lesson design and student engagement. STEM and science alike. And then, of course, what we're really proud of, like I said, is where we're really continuing to develop and grow is in that professional learning communities and the response to interventions. So if students, during our first teach, if they don't understand it or they don't get the concept, then we reteach or we look at additional interventions. If they do, then we look at how we can deepen or enrich those opportunities in the classroom. I'm really happy to answer any questions that you have, so let me know.
Any questions, comments? Thank you for everything. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Do we need yeah, we still need to make a motion on that.
Move for approval.
Second?
Ms. Romerin? Dr. McNeil?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Thank you. Excuse me. Consider and take action to approve board policy revisions to policy number 4046, discrimination, harassment, personnel, and policy 5046, discrimination, harassment, students, as recommended. Dr. Nelson.
Yes, President Reyes, Dr. Federline, and the board. As you know, ordinarily, we like to bring board policy revision to you and for consideration for a month before it's approved. In this case, and you'll see Dr. Smith here in a minute, we have a couple of policies that need to be brought to you because they will be reviewed for accreditation coming up later this month. And both of our discrimination harassment policies have been updated according to a recent statute that has been passed so that we have statements about anti-Semitism included in our discrimination and harassment policy. They're very specific statements around that as required by law and recommended by RFR.
Second?
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Dr. McNeil?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
The chair votes yes as well.
Thank you.
Consider and take action to approve board policy revisions to policy number 5008, medications and seizure rescue as recommended. Dr. Smith.
Yes, thank you. President Reyes, Dr. Federline, and board members, we needed, like Dr. Nelson said, to make an update to revised school board policy 5008. This is to be in compliance with House Bill 2047 and to update the accreditation requirements that are coming up very soon. We needed to adopt a model policy that was developed by the State Board of Education and the State Board of Health, specifically related to self-administration of asthma meds, epinephrine, and cystic fibrosis meds. And we stock epinephrine and inhalers as well, and then there was an added training requirement in the actual bill. So we've added that language in there as well. Our lead nurse, and Andrea Rogers, assisted me in updating all the policy language and to make sure that the language was consistent with any licensure requirements of our nurses. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Does it include seizures too, or just those three, the cystic fibrosis, asthma,
There was a previous House bill, so we updated that, that board policy last school year, and so the seizure action plan is embedded into that. We didn't need to highlight in the title anymore because it includes now multiple different responses, but the seizure action plan requirements from a previous Senate bill, I can't remember the number off the top of my head, we updated that board policy last school year. So the requirements are pretty are as comprehensive as we can possibly think of.
Gotcha.
I'm sure there'll be another legislative update, and we'll update more.
Thank you so much. Move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Dr. McNeil?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman? Chair votes yes as well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Consider and take action on the purchase of 1,200 student laptops and accessories from Tefera LLC in the total amount of $730,800 from bond funds. Mr. Borland.
Yes, good evening. This is, somehow, we're still getting the same pricing that we got in 2024, so not really asking any questions, kind of going with it because we know the prices are increasing. But luckily, our vendor has really gone back to Lenovo a few times to hold the price firm. So we've not had a price increase in almost 20 months. So while the price is this way, I'm going to try to get as many as we can. So this will replace an entire grade level next summer, and then we'll use them throughout the school year if we need them to fill up any schools that have any lost laptops or broken laptops or whatever our supplies are running low.
Move for approval.
Ms. Romerman? Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Dr. McNeil?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Consider and take action on the 7th renewal agreement with CARE ATC to provide national shared site clinic services to union PPO employees and authorize the Executive Director of Human Resources to execute the agreements and to forward any payments due under the agreements. Mr. Logan.
Thank you, President Reyes, members of the board. This is just an annual renewal for CARE ATC, our near-site clinics. They're a great partner for us. They helped us just recently at our health fair last Wednesday, where we gave out free flu shots and did personal health assessments. We had over 400 people come to our health fair on Wednesday, which was a new record, which was wonderful by our amazing benefits department and Brandy White, who did a great job. CareATC is having a 3% increase in their rates. In the contract, they are able to do it up to 5%, but we talked them down. It took a little bit, but we got there. So with your approval, we'd like to recommend you approve keeping them on as our near-site clinic partner.
Move for approval.
Second.
Dr. McNeil?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman? Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Thank you. Consider and take action on the proposed designation system for the Union Public Schools Teacher Empowerment Program. Mrs. Calvin.
Good evening, President Reyes, Dr. Federline, members of the board. I am bringing to you again this year, because I brought this in January of '25. I'm bringing this again for a brand new teacher empowerment program and requesting that you approve the rubric that is attached. So just a quick recap, this was a bill passed by our legislature a few years ago, and it awards teachers. It allows the district to designate up to 10% of our teachers for a specific award. The awards vary from $10,000 to $3,000, and an extra stipend, one-time stipend, between $5,000 and $1,500 for working in an impoverished school. Last year, we recognized 100 teachers. That was about 10%. That was exactly 10% of our teaching staff, which we had 37 advanced teachers, 41 lead teachers, and 22 master teachers. This was a program that Teaching and Learning worked to put together along with Jay Logring. We developed a rubric. It equated to 20 points that a teacher could accumulate. And then if you are looking at the presentation within your agenda, if you want to take a look at page 7, you can see where the breakdown is on the awards, excuse me, between 10,000 and 3,000. The rubric is about the same. We have tweaked it a tad bit based on some input that we've received from teachers. It's still equivalent to 20 points. The other change that we've made is to the designations between the lead and master teacher. So this is on page 11, if you're looking at your slides, and it has that the advanced, a teacher would need to score at the minimum between 10 and 11 points, lead between 12 and 14 points, and master between 15 and 20. Previously, we had the master between 16 and 20 points. The state allows us to develop our own rubric. There is not a financial minimum that they will give us. They will just designate and pay what we determine as to the difference between a master, lead, or advanced teacher. So we are allowed to develop our own rubric. It must be approved by the State Department. And in looking at this, we wanted to make sure to allow our teachers to receive the maximum benefit possible. So with that being said, my next step with approval would be to send the rubric to the State Board of Education for approval. Last year, when I sent the rubric, I received approval that same day. So there was a very quick turnaround. It's possible it could happen again this year. With approval, we would send the application out to all of the teachers. So last year we did this in January, and we were able to make the designations prior to the end of the school year, and the teachers were required to fulfill their extra days that are built into this program. They had to work those extra days in June, really during the month of June. It was tight. Our hope this year is they would get the application quickly. We would be able to score all of the applications, just so that you know. We received about a little over 150 last year. We scored each application individually. Our hope this year is that we would score those and be able to let the teachers know before winter break. That would allow them to work their extra days during second semester and then some during the summer if that's what they need. I think it'll be better for everyone involved. Also, the extra days that the teachers worked this last year were extremely beneficial to the district. We were able to do a lot and provide a lot of assistance to all teachers due to the work that these teachers did over the summer. Any questions?
Move for approval.
Second?
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Dr. McNeil?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Thank you. Consider and take action to approve additional blanket purchase orders to Frontier Produce in the total amount of $518,700 from the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program, USDA, an additional purchase order to Gold Star in the amount of $150,000 from Child Nutrition Funds. Mrs. Powell.
President Reyes, Dr. Federline, members of the board. As you said tonight, I'm asking that you consider these additional purchase orders. Gold Star is one of our distributors, and we buy a lot of juice from them and some other staple products. And so that one's for $150,000. And then the other ones is a series you'll notice for all of our elementary schools. This is a grant that USDA we apply for and we receive these funds. And so these purchase orders they align with the amounts that we have been awarded by USDA. And this allows us to provide snacks, fresh fruit and vegetable snacks, outside of the meal time. So they get exposed to things like jicama or dragon fruit, figs, different things that we don't typically offer on our menus, but because we have these extra funds, we can expose them to new things. So I would ask that you consider approving this tonight. And I can answer any questions if you have those.
Move for approval.
Second?
Ms. Romerman? Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Dr. McNeil?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. Thank you.
I haven't been exposed to dragon fruit either.
I had my first dragon fruit at Jefferson.
I went to Latin, so that explains it.
Consider and take action on the purchase and installation of the Building Automation System BAS controls Phase 5 for 6th, 7th grade center from Harrison Energy Partners in the amount of $332,987 from bond funds. Dr. Robinson.
Yeah, Mr. Reyes, Dr. Federline, this is the control system that will control the new HVAC system that you guys have previously approved that will begin construction in January of 2026. So this for the most part is all of the HVAC equipment for the center area of the classroom wing of the 6th and 7th grade center, both upstairs and downstairs. So all of the air handlers, all of the fan coil units, also some of the, and how they interact with the new plant that we built last summer. It's for lack of a better way to put it, the computer system that controls the HVAC for that first center section of the 6th and 7th grade center.
Second?
Dr. McNeil?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman? Chair votes yes as well. Thank you. Consider and take action on payment to the County of Tulsa's Office of the County Assessor for the annual visual inspection fee in the total amount of $268,977.49 payable from the 2025-2026 General Fund. Dr. Williams.
Good evening, President Reyes, members of the board, Dr. Federline. This is a recommendation that the district pay their proportionate share of the Tulsa County Visual Inspection Fund budget. This is allowed, or rather provided for, under Oklahoma law. The way this works is the Tulsa County adopts and approves an overall visual inspection budget. and they have a cycle that you can see detailed in the handouts of $3.5 million. That $3.5 million cost is allocated among all the taxing entities, all entities that receive property taxes. Union's share of this cost for 25-26 is $268,977.49. That's an increase of a little over $23,000 from last year. Be glad to answer your questions.
Dr. McNeil?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman? Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
The chair votes yes as well.
Thank you.
Consider and take action on the resolution calling for the board member election for District Number 1 on April 7th, 2026, and to authorize publication and posting of the legal notices and news release, and take all other action required by law concerning the board member election and assessment of legally required mill levies. Dr. Williams.
This is a request for the board to approve a resolution calling for the board member election for District Number 1. As you mentioned, that election is on April 7th. If there are more than 2 qualified candidates that file for this position, a primary election will be held on February 10th. If we do have a primary election and any candidate receives more than 50% of the vote, that individual is automatically seated without the general election. The filing period, which is always really important, and I always remind board members of this, begins on Monday, December 1st, and concludes at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, December 3rd. The details of the election, the posting, the publishing, all of the process that we have to follow are spelled out in the agenda. The resolution is one that is prepared for us by RFR. So I'd be glad to answer your questions.
Second.
Ms. Romerman? Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Dr. McNeil?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any new business? Okay, so opportunities for comments from audience and board members. Dr. Federline?
You know, at these board meetings, we often and rightly celebrate the academic achievements of our teachers and our students, and but we also know that none of that learning and none of those successes could take place in buildings that are dirty and unsafe. And it was so nice tonight to hear about the successes of our operations and custodial team. Dr. Robinson, thank you to you and your entire team. Cindy, so glad you could be here with us tonight. We know that the cleanliness, not only that we see every day, but that was graded out by this outside independent auditor, none of that happens by accident. It takes a great deal of coordination and hard work. So thank you and commendations to you and your whole team. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, we have a motion and vote pursuant to Oklahoma Statute Title 25, Section 307B1 to go into executive session and discuss Chief Financial Officer's contract. Dr. McNeil?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well. We are now in executive session.